You've got mail.
Do you remember the 90s?
Come on, Uncle Phil, this is the 90s, man.
Man, it's the 90s. It's hammer time. Come on.
It's the 90s, remember? Microchips, microwaves, faxes, airphones.
Ma, it's the 90s. You can call it what it is.
Yada, yada, yada.
I can be anything I want to be. It's the 90s.
What, are you nuts? This is the 90s. We're gonna sue you.
Wake up and smell the 90s.
Have you heard the big news out of England this summer? No, not all those rumors about Charles and Di. We're talking about crop circles, those strange, mysterious markings in English wheat fields. Some true believers and wishful thinkers are convinced that the circles are signs of alien life. We first aired a report on this last September. Well, this summer, the circles are back.
Can you guess?
I want to wish that it was extraterrestrials, but it's Barbara Walters.
It is Barbara Walters.
It is Barbara Wawa. Yeah.
Wawa Wawa.
Barbara Wawa, which is not a 90s reference, but you know.
But we'll get there.
But yeah, no, this is a great one. Barbara Walters is completely associated with the 90s. I mean, the 80s as well. But.
I mean, she had a very, very long career that started in the 60s, but she was busy in the 90s. What do you know about her?
I mean, her specials. Well, okay. She was a groundbreaking, pioneering female reporter, and then became the first female anchor, I believe.
Co-anchor.
Co-anchor. That's right. She was not doing it solo. God forbid. People's heads would explode.
You don't let ladies do that.
The glass ceiling stayed intact, but she tried.
Degree.
She also, I remember. Since you probably won't be covering this because it's not the 90s, but she had that very famous investigative report where she dressed as a Playboy bunny.
Oh, right.
Later memorizing the rules in the bunny manual, which is 35 pages long. A test is given on the manual, and later if a bunny is untidy or late, chews gum, and so forth, she gets demerits and pays a cash fine. Dating customers or drinking alcoholic beverages before or on the job means automatic dismissal.
So she was born September 25th, 1929, and she did pass away a few years ago on December 30th, 2022. She was born in Boston, and her father owned...
Did you say Boston?
Yeah, she was born in Boston.
How did you just said Boston?
And her father owned nightclubs, including Latin Quarter. That meant that like their financial situation went up and down, but it also meant that she was very familiar with performers and was not like intimidated by them because she sort of saw them in their natural state. So she had an older brother named Burton who died of pneumonia at the age of 14 months. She also had a sister, Jacqueline, who was born with mental disabilities and died in 1985 of ovarian cancer. A little bit more context of her personal life. She was married 3 times. She was married 4 times to 3 different men. She married her last husband twice.
Twice?
Yeah, and he was the CEO of Lorimar Television. She suffered several miscarriages and subsequently adopted her daughter, who she named after her sister, Jacqueline. Her career began at NBC in 1953. And, wow.
1953.
Holy crap, yeah. So that would make her...
That's usually when they used to have chimpanzees on the Today Show.
Yeah, so she's 24 years old when she started at NBC. Then in 1974, she became co-host of the Today Show. And in 1976, she became the first female co-host of ABC Nightly News. And then I believe she stayed at ABC for the rest of her career.
Yeah, then she did 2020.
Eventually, yeah. She started doing specials, Barbara Walters specials.
The Barbara Walters specials, which is the big thing that she's really known for.
In 1976. Yeah. And then correspondent, producer, co-host of 2020. Here, let's play.
With Hugh Downs.
With Hugh Downs. Here, let's play this because this is fun.
Good evening, I'm Hugh Downs.
And I'm Barbara Walters, and this is 2020.
From ABC News, around the world and into your home, the stories that touch your life. With Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters, this is 2020.
I was just activated.
I know. That is
Dun,
so
dun, dun,
iconic. That music, it like
dun.
opens a portal to my brain at that time.
I mean, as the popular kid that I was, it used to be
Mm-hmm.
on Friday nights at 10 p.m. And that was after TGIF was done.
Mm-hmm.
I was ready for.
Can you remember
2020.
the types of topics that they would cover on 2020? I mean, it's probably similar to those sorts of 10 o'clock evening Thursday, Friday night shows that they do now.
I mean, it was kind of a variety of things. They did do like world news as one of them. If there was like they would do their take on whatever, like the war, if we were at war, or if there was some type of crisis or scandal, they would deal with
or
that.
notable news story or people.
Yeah, and then they'd normally do a piece. But I remember they had, was it Tom Stossel was on it for a while? I think his name was.
He's younger, isn't he?
He was younger,
Yeah,
but
so
he was the funny commentator that used to come on there, and he used to come to the desk after his pieces, and he would. I think Barbara was not fond of him or thought it wasn't high journalism.
Yeah,
and he used to constantly just be ribbing her at the desk, and you could tell she had like no time for him.
Yeah,
I always enjoyed
she doesn't
that.
have a fantastic sense of humor.
No, not at all.
No, and we'll talk about the mockery of her in a little bit. But can you think of some of the people that she interviewed that were noteworthy? It doesn't have to be the 90s, but.
Oh, geez. Fidel Castro was her really big one.
It was a strange trip because there was this good humor. And afterwards, he took us inside and made us grilled cheese sandwiches. So, I mean, there was this strange kind of, good-natured, and yet we have to say to ourselves, this was a man who was our enemy up until, this minute. That's strange. Usually it's much more, as you know, much more cut and dried.
So she interviewed every sitting U.S. president and first lady, from Richard Nixon and Pat Nixon to Barack and Michelle Obama. I believe she also interviewed Joe Biden previous to him becoming president, and she's interviewed, I think, Donald Trump several times previous to him being president.
Yeah.
So that whole range. She also interviewed Anwar Sadat, Hugo Chavez, Vladimir Putin, Saddam Hussein, like
Gaddafi, maybe
I
in
think
there.
I think
Omar
so.
Gaddafi.
But also celebrities. Katharine Hepburn was a very famous interview where she asked her what kind of tree she'd be.
Perhaps in my obituary, it may mention that I once asked Katharine Hepburn what kind of a tree she wanted to be. What kind of a tree are you, if you think you're a tree now? Oh, everybody would like to be an oak tree.
Her big thing was the Oscar special.
The Oscar special, it was one of the big things. The Oscar special was an hour-long show that they played before the Oscars. So like 7 p.m. on the night of the Oscars? Part of the time in the 90s, the Oscars were on Mondays. Do you remember that?
I do remember.
And
yeah,
then they switched to Sundays?
They switched to Sundays, and it was always on ABC, so it was her network.
It is always ABC, yeah. And she would interview like 3 different people who weren't always necessarily up for Oscars, but were sort of related to subjects or movies that were hot that year.
You never know what will happen Oscar night when Barbara presents Academy Award winner Sophia Loren, nominee Jeremy Irons, Oscar hopeful Whoopi Goldberg, and the Ninja Turtles.
As a big rabid Oscar movie guy,
Yeah.
I
watch those all the time.
having those all the time. And in preparation and finding clips for this podcast, there's a lot of, if you listen to other podcasts, you'll find a lot of on our socials and on the shows, Barbara Walters interview clips.
Right, because she literally talked to everybody.
The thing is that when you watched her interviews, you weren't like folding laundry or whatever. Like she did have this thing where she would pull you in. She would kind of softball it, and then she would go in for hard stuff. She would ask things that would purposely make them uncomfortable.
Oh, there's some clips of that.
Are you a good mother?
Yes, I'm an excellent mother.
Ever do drugs in front of your child?
My God, what a question. No.
But Courtney, you know these are the things that people say. But you are a little overweight.
More than a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Where I come from, would I have called you a hillbilly?
If you had of, it would have been something very natural, but I would have probably kicked your shins or something.
She like outed Ricky Martin effectively.
Yes.
And
I do remember that.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but but it's in your in your power to do
so
it.
much for
And I'm bringing it up, Ricky, because you know that this is being said,
and thank you so
and you're even
much
being named.
for giving me the opportunity to express the rumors. But Barbara, for some reason, I just don't feel like it.
Oh, there's the one interview. We'll get to The View in a second, but there's one interview with Corey Feldman where he accused Hollywood of having bad people in it. And she said something along the lines of, you're ruining an industry.
If you're saying that there's a lot of predators in this industry.
It's a many-feathered bird, okay? Be careful what you wish for. You know, don't go into it with naivety. Don't go into it thinking that it's all roses and sunglasses.
You're damaging an entire industry.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to.
A lot of the criticism that I read was that she was too soft on particularly men, and she was too hard on women.
Yeah.
Not least of which is probably her most famous interview, probably of all time, that did occur in the 90s. Can you remember that?
Was it Princess Diana?
No.
No. Female?
Yes.
In the 90s.
Related to one of our past episodes.
Oh. Drew Barrymore?
No.
Okay. I can just go down.
You have to think about like current events of the 90s.
Current events of the 90s. Oh, Monica Lewinsky.
Yes. So let's just remind everybody who Monica Lewinsky was, if you were too young to remember that. She was the intern that Bill Clinton had relations with that led to his impeachment because he lied about it. And she was very young, like impressionable. There was a
power dynamic.
There's a power dynamic. But on March 3rd, 1999, her interview with Monica Lewinsky was seen by 74 million viewers. That cannot happen again.
No, that's MASH numbers.
But yeah, everything is just so fractured. There's not like an event of television that is going to catch those kind of numbers.
Tonight.
You have been described as a bimbo, a stalker, a seductress.
Barbara Walters with Monica Lewinsky, a woman guaranteed a place in history, finally free to tell her own story of the affair that nearly toppled the president.
Sometimes I have warm feelings, sometimes I'm proud of him still, and sometimes I hate his guts.
And I mean, the journalists at the time, obviously she was the oldest of the batch. She was the most established of the batch, so she often won. But there was competitions amongst all of of that genre of reporters, and they would fight over these. And she won Monica Lewinsky, and it was the highest rated news program ever broadcast by a single network. People were interested. Fun fact, apparently the most common email question they had after that interview was, what was Monica Lewinsky's lipstick?
You mean that she wore in the interview?
Everybody just thought it was amazing.
What was the color of the lipstick?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that Barbara Walters dug that deep, but she did mention in some post-interview, Barbara Walters mentioned in some post-interview that was a question they got a lot. So besides the Oscar specials, what was another one of her yearly specials?
Jeez. The most influential people? Fascinating people.
10 most fascinating people. She did shows, specials from 1993 to 2015.
Barbara Walters presents the 10 most fascinating people of 1995.
Good evening. Once again, we have thrown caution to the wind and handpicked the 10 people we believe are the most fascinating of the year. We've kept the rules simple. We wanted the victorious, not the notorious, people who have accomplished something extraordinary this past year.
So,
okay, let's do this. Notables.
1993, Maya Angelou, Connie Chung, Hillary Clinton, Barry Diller, who was an executive, a media executive, Clint Eastwood, James Freed, who's an architect, Jack Kevorkian, Dr. Death, Katie Lang, David Letterman, Rush Limbaugh, Shaquille O'Neal, and Stan Winston. Do you know who that is?
Oh, yeah. He's the greatest makeup effects artist of all time.
See? fascinating in 1993.
Connie Chung is the one that is up there because I was about to say what were her contemporaries, and all I can think of is Connie Chung, really.
Oh, we'll get to the contemporaries.
Yeah.
1994, Leslie Abramson. Oh, he was the attorney for Lyle and Eric Menendez.
I was going to say, did she interview the Menendez brothers? I feel like that would have been a get for her.
I'm pretty sure she did. I think that was an off special. It wasn't part of these fascinating ones, but I think that she did. I think that was another one of those big gets that she got. Then Oksana Bayul and Viktor Petrenko, who were figure skaters and like won some Olympic medals. I remember them.
These are all just to be continued. This list is
this is just a list of future podcast episodes. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter, Tom Hanks, ding ding,
ding.
Jerry Jones, owner of Dallas Cowboys, Susan Lucci, probably before she finally won her Emmy, Nelson Mandela, president of South Africa, Rupert Murdoch, we know him, Steven Spielberg, ding ding,
ding ding,
Barbra Streisand, 1995, Jim Carrey, Newt Gingrich, John F. Kennedy Jr., Courtney Love, Osceola McCarty, who was a philanthropist at the time, I guess. Rick Nelson. The Oklahoma City bombing rescuer. Colin Powell. Christopher Reeve. Monica Seles, who was an athlete.
And that was Christopher Reeve's after the accident, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah.
And Ted Turner, former husband of Jane Fonda. 1996, Oksana Bayul got a second in a row. Who knows who she is? We need to do an episode about her.
Isn't she an Olympian?
She is, but who knows who she is now? The next one is Bill Clinton, President of the United States.
Okay.
Michael Crichton, Tom Cruise, Elizabeth Dole, wife of presidential candidate Bob Dole. Shannon Lucid, who is an astronaut. Rosie O'Donnell, Benjamin Netanyahu, Dennis Rodman, who's an athlete. Martha Stewart. Carrie Strug, who's a gymnast, so another Olympian.
We should try to play the game of either if they're dead or not, it's not good. Maybe if they're in jail of something,
well,
or
I
if
don't
something
know that
happened.
any of them are in jail at this point.
I was thinking Martha Stewart.
Martha Stewart is not currently in jail.
Not currently in jail.
She has
was
been
incarcerated.
to jail.
Yes.
There's only a couple more years. 1997, Madeleine Albright, who's Secretary of State, and I believe the first woman Secretary of State of America. Ellen DeGeneres, Michael Flatley. Do you remember Lord of the Dance?
Yeah, I believe it. Lord of the Dance, Riverdance.
Riverdance. That's
was
right.
a thing.
Yeah.
He was the Lord of the Dance.
Yes, that will be an episode at some point. Kathy Lee Gifford, who pre-originated. Kelly Ripa.
Regis and Kathy Lee.
Yeah, it was Regis and Kathy Lee before
Clip
it was
in the Pokemon episode.
Before it was Regis and Kelly, and now it's Kelly and whoever. Her husband. Alan Greenspan, who is an economist and chairman of the Federal Reserve. Elton John. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Ding, ding, ding. Prince William of Wales. Semi-ding. We had an episode.
Semi-ding, yeah.
We had an episode with his whole family. Ian Wilmot, an embryologist. Okay. And Tiger Woods, who's an athlete.
I feel like we got like 4 that were just like, who dat?
Who dat, yeah. 1998, James Cameron.
Oh, yeah.
We know who that is. Canadian. Callista Flockhart, who's an actress that, I don't know that.
Known for being skinny and married to Harrison Ford.
I don't know that they're married, but yes. Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft. John Glenn, astronaut and U.S. Senator. Tom Hanks, ding ding again. Jerry Halliwell, one of the Spice Girls. Mark McGuire, an athlete who's a baseball player.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Chris Rock, actor and comedian. Jerry Springer. Oh, there's an episode.
Yeah.
And Mother Teresa.
What?
Yeah.
She was even alive then?
No, didn't she die the same year as Diana? I feel like she died that same weekend in 1997. So maybe this one was just a package about her and how she is fascinating but not with us anymore. She's with her father.
Well, the episode's on the docket now.
Yep. All right, 1999. King Abdullah II, King of Jordan. Jonathan Lee Iverson, circus ringmaster. Can you get a clip for that?
Circus ringmaster. What's his name?
Jonathan Lee Iverson.
Hey, this is Dave from Post. I am editing right now, and I just had to cut in to tell you that it is absolutely shameful of you, internet, YouTube, all the places, that there is not a single clip of Jonathan Lee Iverson being interviewed as one of the most fascinating individuals by Barbara Walters. I have seen him personally. He is the ringmaster of the Barnum and Bailey Circus, and the guy is a powerhouse. Listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the greatest show on earth!
I mean, seriously. Okay, on with the show.
Monica Lewinsky. I wonder if she just like reused some footage.
Probably.
Susan Lucci, again, for some reason. Ricky Martin, who she outed. Sumner Redstone, multimedia tycoon. Joe Torre, New York Yankees manager. Jesse Ventura.
Oh, yeah.
Pro wrestler and
Governor
former
of
Minnesota governor.
Yep.
And Lance Armstrong, cyclist. So she focused in on a lot of athletes, which is surprising to me. Fewer media personalities than I would have expected.
There's a lot of variety on there. It's like
A nice
everything
variety,
from science, from technology and science, not just movie stars and celebrities.
Fascinating. What was the other thing that she was known for in the 90s specifically?
Did they start The View in the 90s?
They sure did.
Is that what you were thinking of?
Yes.
Yeah, it was towards the tail end of the 90s.
It was 1997.
I would say that would be, this was her kind of legacy project. She had basically, it was like her going into semi-retirement to go on The View.
All right, take a listen to this.
We are back celebrating Barbara's last day. Now, Barbara, you have raised the TV interview to such a high art. The only person who's truly qualified to interview you is you. But you can't do that, can you?
Yes, I can. Take a look.
First, may I say that it is both an honor and a privilege for you to be interviewed by me.
Let me ask you, when you conceived The View, you said, I wanted to do a show with women with different views. Any regrets?
Well, at the time, little did I know that I would be surrounded by 4 cackling hens all speaking over each other where I couldn't get a word in edgewise. A far cry from my respected work on the ABC News program 2020.
So that's Sherry O'Terry.
Yes.
Who was one of the people who played her.
Famously impersonated her on SNL.
Yeah, but this was a special thing that they did for this, which is actually pretty funny.
So how long was her tenure on The View?
So, let's see. She created, produced, and co-hosted the daytime talk show The View, which, to my memory, is the first daytime talk show of that format, where you had multiple people.
Like a round table.
A round table and sort of it got to be a rotating cast. Initially, it was pretty consistent. There's 5 co-hosts, and then she would join them like once a week or whenever she felt like it, or if there was somebody that she wanted to talk to. And do you remember who the initial co-hosts were? First of all, did you watch The View at all?
Yeah,
because this was college.
I think, I did for sure.
So did I.
Yeah, Star Jones. See, the thing about it that you don't remember about The View is that nowadays, I think do they still have both left and right people on The View?
Kind of, yes.
Because it was originally...
They always have one conservative.
Yeah, but it was always very much it was Star Jones, it was Joy Behar. I don't remember the blonde that everyone hated who was the Republican.
Debbie Metnopoulos?
No, I don't.
That was Elizabeth Hasselbeck that you're thinking of.
Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
No, but the initial cast was Debbie Metnopoulos, who was very young. She's like 22 or 23. I don't know if she was like the conservative voice or not, but she was the young voice.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was Joy, Star, Debbie.
And then did they have
Meredith Vieira.
And I keep thinking of ones later on. Later on, they had the one Asian reporter.
Yep, Lisa Ling was the second young one.
Yeah.
And then I think Elizabeth Hasselbeck was like the 3rd or 4th young one, but she also skewed conservative.
She was the one who brought the fightin'.
Yes, there is a very notable fight between Elizabeth Hasselbeck and Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Who took over
the main duties.
Well,
she was like the Whoopi now.
Well, she was the Meredith. Meredith is the OG. Come on. So the person at the very left of the table is the moderator, and currently on the show, which is still running, is Whoopi. Rosie was it for quite a while, and Meredith was the first one.
After her talk show. Didn't she?
She did it after her own talk show.
She did it after her own talk show,
yeah. Yeah. Can you think of any, like, there was a lot of different people. Jenny McCarthy was on there for a while.
That's right, because the whole vaccine thing was a big deal with her on there. But Barbara would always she wouldn't be on every day.
No, she'd be. I think initially she was on Fridays,
yeah,
specifically, and then she just did it whenever she felt like it.
She's doing like what Jon Stewart does nowadays. Just come in on Monday. That's it.
Hey, whatever works.
One day
if
work
you're the
week.
boss.
But it's wild that show is still on, and I would say right now, kind of like SNL, and it is most popular when we are in crisis or when there is like a political thing to mock,
to comment on, to rage against.
Yeah. When the country is in trouble because they speak up, and the idea though that it was all women was the big deal. I don't think we really emphasized on that enough.
Right.
I mean,
there hasn't really been any, like, they bring in men sometimes to talk. They allow men to talk sometimes.
Well, this was Barbara Walters' complete blank check.
It was a blank check and like a pet project.
Yeah.
And it ended up working out.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
it's still successful.
It's not. I don't feel like it's going anywhere, and it had tons of imitators. That's the thing.
Yes, definitely imitators. There's what the
one that had Ozzy's wife on
Sharon. The Talk,
the
yep. Chew.
The Sarah Gilbert was the Chew, right? Or no,
the Chew was the Food Network, not the Food Network version, but the one with chefs
that had the What Not to Wear guy on it.
Yeah.
But it was the same format, but they would talk about the day's events and stuff, but while cooking demonstrations.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that there's
Mario Batali.
Yeah, there's at least one from Canada that's fairly notable too. That is that roundtable format.
I wonder if this is something that has been franchised. Like, is there a version of The View, like View UK?
I mean,
View
I don't. Maybe
Australia.
We should look that up, but I don't know how you how you own 5 people sitting at a table. How people can't.
I mean, that's British chat shows for.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's. I wonder what she was inspired by. Maybe that's what she was inspired by. Was the British version?
But it was really unique, and it was coming out at about the same time as the whole reality show craze as well. So people were very much into, like, this was around the same time Survivor and stuff was coming out, and we were starting to get the reality kind of thing. So people were interested in non-scripted television again.
Yeah, as much as there certainly were episodes where there was arguments. There's episodes where some of the co-hosts walk away, leave the stage.
Joy Behar, it became a running gag that she would walk out on the middle of the show.
Yeah, but by and large, they do try and have inclusive voices. I think it's a little harder now because everything's so extreme that it's hard to have rational conversations with pedophile adjacent people.
I think the thing is too is that in the beginning it definitely kind of the same thing with reality. It didn't become quite as trashy in the beginning. It didn't have it, so like the mystique of Barbara Walters coming in. I remember her giving this, I should find this. She on day one was like looking dead to the camera and giving the manifesto for this show. And it was very serious.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
I've always wanted to do a show with women of different generations, backgrounds, and views. A working mom. A professional in her 30s. A 22-year-old just starting out. And then somebody who's done almost everything and will say almost anything. And in a perfect world, I'd get to join the group whenever I wanted. This is that show. We call it The View.
At least the first season definitely had the this is my thesis statement as an intro.
And like so many things in this era, it started out with the best of intentions and just kind of like started circling the drain at times. You know?
Well, I mean, I think just like everything, things have to be bigger, get more extreme. Like you get used to a certain level, and then in order to maintain its interest or, you know, people's interest in it, you have to get bigger, you have to get weirder, you have to get crazier, you have to...
The View did become, because the whole point of it was that it was supposed to be a civil discussion amongst different views, different characters, different points of view.
Yeah.
And it ended up becoming a show not unlike Jerry Springer you mentioned or something, where people would come on just to wait until Joy and what's her name started fighting, or they would start yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And it became very much kind of counterintuitive in the sense of like the people who would, the detractors of the show would go, this is why we don't let a bunch of women around a table, because all they'll do is yell at each other and start fighting.
Yeah. Well, so this is a clip that I think is actually really kind of cool and really kind of special. So
lay it on me.
Yeah.
As everybody has said, you've been a trailblazer in broadcast journalism, shattering the glass ceiling for so many women and for so many yet to come. And many of the incredible women that have been influenced by you, and we all have been influenced by you, are here for you today.
And we all proudly stand on your shoulders, Barbara Walters, as we honor you. Please welcome Diane Sawyer, Robin Roberts, Lara Spencer, Elizabeth Vargas, Amy Robart, Deborah Roberts, Juju Chang, Katie Couric, Savannah Guthrie, Natalie Morales, Tamron Hall, Maria Shriver, Cynthia McFadden, Meredith Vieira, Kathy Lee Gifford, Hoda Kotb, Jane Pauley, Gail King, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, Gretchen Paulson, Lisa Ling, Deborah Norville, Paula Zahn, Connie Chung, Joan London.
Proud of you. When I look back at the anthem and you made it, I just want to say this is my legacy. This is my legacy. These are my legacy. And I thank you, all of you.
Do you remember that?
Joan London. She's the only one who got the Oprahism on it. I do remember the cavalcade of all the admirers coming to kiss the ring. I do remember that.
But it's more than that. I mean, come on. She was a trailblazer, and women were treated like shit in the media for a long time.
Totally.
So.
I don't know if kiss the ring is the appropriate way. I'm not being dismissive about it. But I mean, yeah, it was a definite moment in the fact that all I can think about when I'm listening to that is who didn't get invited to the table.
Well, there is a line that, you know, you either were or were not on the list. But, you know, Elizabeth Hasselbeck's on the list.
Yeah.
So she wrote an autobiography called Audition, I believe, that came out several years ago before she died. And one of the streaming services did a pretty good documentary that include her daughter talking about her as like a mother and about how you can't have it all. Men can. Mm-hmm. But as a mother, you really can't have it all. And she chose her career. And I mean, that's why a lot of the most successful women that you see in the world, in the media especially, are childless. Because there is that sort of expectation to be the best mother, but you can't be at the top of your career if you're the best mother.
And also just to be the one that takes on most of the responsibility.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add about her legacy or her accomplishments or her position as a woman? Because it's basically, this is an episode about the first woman journalist.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's really what was your top 3 favorite Barbara moments
there
or
really
something.
Isn't,
there really isn't, because they're all great, folks. She
great.
has so many moments. Each year there were 10 fascinating ones.
Yes. There is a Simpsons clip. I won't play it, but I have it.
No, I don't know if I have anything specific. I mean, I can't say I'm a stan for Barbara Walters, but she was a definite part. Like I said, I would sit there and I would be excited to watch 2020 every Friday. I was that nerdy kid who had nothing better to do. And I remember 2020 was like a show that I used to, it was appointment television. I'd sit down with my folks and watch it.
Yeah.
And The View, I remember watching it first came on too. And I remember that was the idea that she was able to be as popular as she was consistently throughout her career, I think is the big success.
Yeah.
She didn't outweigh her welcome and she went out on top.
Yeah. She did. She was a very prominent media personality, so she did get mocked.
Mm-hmm.
So here are some examples.
I think it was Lord Acton who said, absolute power corrupts absolutely. If you don't believe me, try sharing a makeup room with Diane Sawyer, my new co-host on 2020.
Ew, my hands, they smell like balloons. Smell them.
So that was Sherry O'Terry on SNL again.
Do you have Gilda on there?
No, because she died in the 80s.
I know. But Gilda Radner was the OG.
She was the Baba Wawa.
Ba wa wa. Yeah, yeah.
Making fun of her accent. It is sort of odd that a woman, the most prominent first notable woman journalist, had a speech impediment.
Yeah, we didn't really get into that. That was something that really had her stand out, was her speech impediment.
Yeah.
She had, but it's
you
just
take your weaknesses and make them your strengths, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like any single we say there aren't any movie stars anymore. Well, movie stars used to be weird looking people. They had exaggerated features and big chins and clefts and all this stuff.
Double eyelashes.
Yeah, double eyelashes. So I mean, to have it made her stand out.
Yeah.
And she didn't ever allow that to hold her back, which was
sometimes being memorable is more important than being good.
Mm-hmm.
So here is one more.
Oh my God, Ricky Martin is so cute.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so cute.
Pardon me, I'm Barbara Walters, world-renowned celebrity journalist, veteran anchor, and co-host of the hard-hitting news magazine, 2020. Can you tell me where I might find tonight's host, Miss Monica Lewinsky?
Well, she's not the host, actually.
You see, I have to return a pack of gum to her. She left it in her dressing room right after our highly rated exclusive interview on ABC.
Well, I could give it to her if you want.
I'd prefer to see her in person.
Well, it's just a pack of gum. I mean, she probably doesn't even care.
For the love of Pete, quit grilling me, you hussy! Oh!
Why do you want to see her so bad?
If you must know, Tim, I have more questions to ask about the phone sex. You see, I'm in a long-distance relationship right now with Rupert Murdoch, and I'm ready to take it to the next level. So, I need her advice.
You know what? Maybe try the 9th floor dressing rooms.
9th floor dressing rooms. Where are they?
9th floor.
Ah! Monica!
So that is...
Was that Monica Lewinsky hosting Saturday Night Live?
I think so. I think she did.
Wow. I feel like we need an addendum to the Bill Clinton episode now.
Yeah. I mean, Nancy Kerrigan did too. And there's some athletes in there, some other, I think, Olympians and random athletes that did. Actors are better.
But I never remembered the whole thing where she outed Ricky Martin. I'll have to maybe find that clip.
You might not have to. I think I have it in here. So I think I meant to end with this. So let's see if this seems like a good closer or just a miscellaneous clip that's fun.
What I was curious about is everyone's talked about it. It's been dissected. What was the most surprising thing to come of the interview from your standpoint?
Well, I know this is going to sound very silly, and it was reported, but after the first day, when we got all the, the press and they dissected it, we got more phone calls, more letters, more email, more everything on what her lipstick was.
People wanted to know the brand of lipstick?
More than anything else, because she had very good makeup and very shiny lipstick, and more than anything else, they wanted to know the name of her lip gloss.
What was the name?
Well, we should have bought stock in the company. It's a little store called Club Monaco. Is it a big store?
Woo!
So
The Club Monaco people in the audience.
There's the lipstick story. Let's see. I have a whole bunch of clips. This is going to be very easy for you. To come up with social clips, but
do you have a wrap up of thoughts maybe or something towards the end, something to button it up?
I mean, let's see. Barbara Walters is not all good and she's not all bad. She worked really, really hard. I heard that she could hold her bladder for a very extended amount of time.
You heard about this?
Yeah, I think they mention it in the documentary because she's very disciplined in terms of like dealing with these VIPs, like world leaders and movie stars and stuff. So she was always prepared in more ways than one.
She feels like a lady it'd be fun to make bets with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she'd win.
She'd win all the time.
She'd win, yeah.
Determined woman for sure. Who had to live in a man's world.
Definitely. But opened a lot of doors for a lot of other women.
Yeah, she didn't close it behind her.
She did not. We'll give her credit for that. But yeah, if you wanna learn more, you can read her autobiography or watch documentary.
Yeah, I think we watched one on ABC that was pretty good.
I think that's the one. Yeah,
that's the one.
So if you would like to include a fun clip to close, that would be great.
All right. Well, it's lovely talking about the illustrious Barbara Walters with you today on Dave
and Cheryl and
the 90s. Got a favorite 90s moment or topic you want us to dive into? We'd love to hear about it. If you think we got everything wrong, we'd love to hear about that too. Drop us an email at andthe90spod@gmail.com, link in the episode description, and you can be damn sure that we'll read your comments on the show. Also, if you're digging the show, please rate, comment, subscribe, and tell everyone you know to check us out. It really does make a difference. Till next time, remember, we're nostalgia for the olds and education for the youths.